Thank you. Senator Risch.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to my friend from Washington. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that that horrible situation we had with the firefighters being killed up. Firefighting is a really dangerous job to begin with. Then when you add to it this kind of thing, it's awful. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Washington, which responded with literally hundreds of law enforcement people to address this situation. We're very thankful for that. Our heart goes out to the people up there. Tom, proud of you. You're the first Idahoan to be chief since Dale Bosworth was when I was governor of Idaho. Dale and I had graduated in the same class from the University of Idaho College of Forestry. That was a little before your time, probably, but Dale did a great job and helped me. And my colleague got ahead of me on the roadless. She knew I would be bringing it up, and that was really an effort between us in Idaho. And how this worked is George W. Bush invited the states to look at the roadless areas and come up with a plan for their state. We were, I guess Colorado did some, but we were primarily, we've got the roadless rule, and I'm very proud of it. The other states did not do what we want to do, and frankly, I had a lot of people advise me that I shouldn't get into that because it was controversial. As you know, nobody knows how many roadless lawsuits there's been. There's been hundreds, maybe into the thousands, and every time the Republicans are in, the Democrats file suit, and every time the Democrats are in, the Republicans file suit, and nothing ever gets done. The good news, and I think the proof is in the pudding on my roadless rule, is that since that's been in for the last 2 decades, we haven't had one lawsuit involving roadless in Idaho. There have been a lot of roadless lawsuits, but every time they're filed, they exclude Idaho from the suit. So, I mean, I think that's the lawsuits. It's a great deal for the lawyers, but it really wastes a lot of time and energy and everything else. The way I went about it was when the federal government suggested that we in the states have a look at it, they gave us no parameters of any kind. And the way I went about it was, I said, well, we're going to put together a committee that has, that everybody's represented at. It's the loggers, it's the, so industry is represented, it was the recreational users, which is not one bucket, as you know. The motorized recreational users are very different from the wilderness-type recreational users. We brought all those people to the table and really took the millions of acres that we had in Idaho and broke them into various we had 5 different categories because, as you know, the roadless is, as you say, there's roadless that have roads in them, and they're all over the board. And they were the ones left over when they put all the wilderness groups, or all the wilderness lands into wilderness area. There were ones they couldn't reach an agreement on, and they set them aside saying these should be looked at. Well, nobody ever looked at them. But in any event, my pitch to you is that we are in the process of, and have been for a little while, because it has been so successful, looking at it, putting it in statute as opposed to just by rule, because over the last 2 decades, the Forest Service, not you, but the Forest Service, people in the Forest Service have taken a run at dismantling the Idaho Roadless Rule. The roadless properties, as you know, are managed by a committee that is appointed by the governor, so it's federal land, but we have very strict parameters on these 5 different themes that are there, and then this group manages it. And within there we have a number of small towns, as you suggested, Senator Cantwell. Interface is a real problem when you're coming to fire. So what the Roadless Committee in Idaho has done, they have focused on these areas and have done treatment plans around these towns so they can stop a fire as it goes through there. Because, as you know, one of these things get going at about 10 o'clock in the morning when the wind comes up. What you need is a pair of tennis shoes, because you got to stay away from the fire and not attack the fire. You can't control it. So on the other hand, if you have treated property, that is ones that have had sensible harvest on them, it's really a good thing. So we're going to look at trying to get this statutory in, because the Forest Service within the Forest Service, there are some who really hate the fact that the state has a say in managing these grounds. Not for those of us that have a lot of federal lands. This is not uncommon for us. But look, we can deal with this, and it's been a tremendous success. So I'm going to enlist your help in that, Tom, to see if we can get that done. And I've always hoped that other states would take a hold of this. It was a collaborative effort. The minute it was done, we had an environmental, or one of the environmental groups file suit, which I had tried to get to the table. We tried to get everybody to the table, and they filed suit immediately. But bless the environmental group, we said, look, we were going to do this together. We stuck together all the way through the litigation, which went on into the Obama administration. And to their credit, they let us in Idaho direct that lawsuit. It was our roadless rule was approved by the district judge, an environmental leaning district judge in Boise, but more importantly, was approved by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And then certiorari was turned down by the Supreme Court. So we got it. We got our rule. We got it in law. But we'd like to see it statutorily. So we've been working at it for some time, going to continue to do it. It's been a tremendous success. I highly recommend it for any state that doesn't have it. You can avoid all those lawsuits and actually do stuff with the ground that's in keeping with the various themes that we propose. I've talked long enough. Mr. Chairman, thank you for the floor. Thank you, Senator Cantwell, and those of you from states that have large federal holdings. I strongly recommend the approach that we did in Idaho. Tom, thank you for your service. Thanks for doing this.